How to do a tie with Couture Nomad. Print the pattern coming along with this video and cut it. Place the 3 pieces of the tie in the bias of the fabric. Cut with no seam allowances except for the 2 arrows where you trace 1 cm seam allowance all around. You will need 7 pieces, 3 for the tie, 2 arrows for the lining, 2 pieces for buckram for the inside body of the tie. First, assemble the 3 pieces of the tie, aligning the letters marked on the pattern, right side against right side. You will be able to see a little triangle overlapping both sides. This is because of the bias. Sew and iron flat the seam on the wrong side of the fabric and on the right side of the fabric. Be careful not to stretch the fabric when ironing. It could put it out of shape. Sew together the 2 buckram pieces to obtain a strip as long as the tie. Place the strip on the center of the tie, wrong side of the fabric. Pin it and baste all around the strip to maintain it. The buckram is going to give the tie a nice fall. Pin the lining on both arrows, right side against right side, and sew it. As I do in this video, you can use the same fabric as the tie instead of lining. You can also use another fabric to be original. To obtain neat corners, you need to sew each side until the end. As a seam allowance, take the foot width. Be careful to keep the same seam allowance on the 4 sides in order to keep the arrow centered. Notch the corners to help turning in the lining. Iron flat the seams on a small iron board. Turn the lining inside out and use a reasonable sharp tool to take the corners out. Iron flat both extremities of the tie. Iron as well both side edges and maintain with pins. Fold the first side towards the center of the buckram and maintain with pins. It is a quite difficult and fastidious step. You will need patience and time to carry it out. To be sure to center the arrow, fold the second side on top of the first and adjust before to pin the first side all along. After finding the right way to fold the edges, pin the first side on the buckram toward the center. Pin all along until 10 centimeters up the arrow. Then fold the second side on top of the first, unpinning it to pin both of them together. The overlapping shouldn't be too wide. Take a thread length long enough to assemble both sides together with a sliding stitch in one time. Take only the tie edges together. Stitch down and up, sliding between first and second side. Look at it closely. To prevent both sides going apart, do an embroidery straight stitch 10 centimeters on top of both extremities of the tie. There are several straight stitches. This one is the simple one. Stitch from top to bottom, shifting a bit the needle each time you stick it in the fabric. Unstitch the basting stitches and steam the tie. Wear it with a nice shirt or give it to your beloved. Happy Valentine's Day with Couture Nomad.